Welcome back to Q-Dads, I'm Ste, and House of the Dragon Season 2 has finally graced our screens, leaving us squirming at the thought of a child being killed and dogs being kicked.
Back off!
Will those rat catchers survive the onslaught of Aemond once he discovers what they did? Did Queen Helaena intentionally let Prince Jaehaerys die? And how many episodes will we have to wait to see a full-on dragon versus dragon battle? Let's not pretend that's not the reason we all watch the show. Of course, usually Ben and I would give you a breakdown of the episode and give you all those little hidden details, but because the world of Westeros is just so vast and ultimately the ending of House of the Dragon already exists, we're going to do things a little bit different for our House of the Dragon season. And if I'm honest, it all just falls down to time. Ben and I obviously do have lives outside the world of YouTube, and we don't have a team of people behind us to look at all those little Easter egg details, especially like the new opening intro where the tapestry has now come alive and appears to be depicting the events of the Dance of Dragons instead of the usual blood and rocks of the previous seasons and the Game of Thrones universe. But what we are going to do is give you a quick recap as well as our thoughts, opinions, and also theories on how the season is going to unfold. Because, of course, that's why you come to Q-Dads. It's for us and our theories. We want to open these episodes up to you at home too, so give us your thoughts in the comments and let's get a heated Westeros debate started. But before you do, don't forget to subscribe as we're nearing the 2,000 sub mark, and it would be great if you could make it happen by the end of the series. Anyway, let's waste no time and let's dive in. Episode 1, titled A Son for a Son, starts a little bit differently. It gives us the north. That's right, we get that northern accent that we all love over here in England. As well, we see the Valyrian son Jace joining Lord Cregan Stark as they both ascend the wall. They both stand looking out beyond at the dangers that are way to the north now. If I'm completely honest, I wasn't that impressed with this scene, and I'll tell you why, and that's because we already know what's going to happen. Now, could the showrunners have a few scenes from beyond the wall just to tease us? It is possible, but I'm not holding my breath. We do know the White Walkers are beyond the wall. We know that winter has come and gone, so to then see this and have them reference it just almost seems a bit mediocre if I'm honest. But of course he gets the Raven's message and makes his way back home. We then have a council meeting where we see King Aegon II not really giving a damn about the meeting, but more interested with little Jaehaerys harassing Sir Tywin Lannister. They discuss which houses support the crown, as well as the plans to burn down Riverrun and Lord Tully. But again, this scene felt rushed, especially with the entrance of Aemond. It seemed that he came in, made a quick plan, and moved on. It felt forced. One of the interesting scenes we got during this was when Aegon II was hearing the thoughts of his people, like the farmer who wanted his sheep back, or the blacksmith who wanted money up front. This felt like an embarrassment of the king, with everyone taking advantage, and even his hand, Otto, couldn't fully stop him from speaking his mind. Now, I'm not 100% sure how we're supposed to feel about Aegon II, as clearly he should not be on the throne, but these two opening scenes we get with him almost contradict his character. In the small council meeting, it almost looked like he didn't care what was going on, only interested in his boy and belittling Tywin Lannister. Then, when it came to him on the throne listening to the problems, he did seem to care about the people. I almost can't nail his character down. He does come across as someone who isn't fit to be king, or who doesn't want it. Maybe this is a family trait which gets passed down, as Jon Snow also didn't want it. This scene was an interesting break from the overall dull episode to this point, which unfortunately soon continued to be dull as we see both Alicent lighting candles and Rhaenyra at Lucerys' funeral. I get this is both powerhouses putting to rest the travesties of season 1 and starting anew for this season, but it was awful to watch in my opinion. The whole first 2/3 of the show were just too slow paced. Now, yes, I know the Game of Thrones universe is often slow at times, focusing on the world building and the history, creating elements of the show, but I just felt we could have started with more interesting characters and better conversation pieces, maybe a new threat rather than sticking with a son for a son element. But with that being said, the show did pick up with probably the best scene of the episode, which is where the rat catchers are looking for Prince Aemond, obviously to bring his head back to Daemon. But here we get a quick kick of a dog which just sets the scene and makes it that this guy needs to die. And of course we then get the hair curling scene where they choose one of the Targaryen toddlers and end the future King Jaehaerys' life. For me, the emotion in this scene from Queen Helaena was unbelievable as she stared into the face of the ratcatcher, knowing that this was the end of her son's life. And then to hear that on screen, which of course we didn't see, but the emotion in her face and the distant sounds paint the picture very clearly. I do ask here, did she plan for them to kill the boy? As I feel her intentions in the moment were to save her little girl, to prevent her own child becoming the heir to the throne. But I also ask myself the question, how will this turn out in future episodes when news gets back to Daemon that he killed the wrong son? What will he say? And what is he going to do? And of course, how is the crown going to act? Are they going to figure out that it was Daemon? Or will it end at the Ratcatchers? And then secondly for me, the scene felt a bit off. Why were the Queen and future heir not being protected? Even after she did say she didn't trust the rats, again, one of her predictions coming true, surely they would have guards on standby. This then made me question, as Helaena is running off into Alicent's chamber, where she was having some coal, should Sir Cole have been guarding the children and the Queen? Overall, the episode was really slow, and if I'm honest, I didn't enjoy it that much. It was only until the last scene where the Ratcatchers were searching the castle that it actually felt somewhat enjoyable. As for the rest of it, it was almost like they were making amends and saying their piece to Season 1, when actually, could this have just been done at the end of Season 1 in a quick episode 10 montage? Those moments where they skipped time in the first season should have also happened here, and we should have glossed over that whole Rhaenyra journey, and it should have shown us more of her anger and resentment for the throne. I sort of think my issue with the episode stems from the fact that the history about what is to happen is already known and is mentioned throughout the Game of Thrones series. Although, I was speaking with my wife, who's read a bit more than me on the history of Westeros, and she did say the book that House of the Dragon is based on is from the point of view of a maester and not an actual story like Game of Thrones. So they can modify it more and just say the account had been misled, or, as they always say, history is written by the victor. We can already see the showrunners doing this, as way back in Season 1 with Laenor Valerian's death, in the Fire and Blood book he is killed by his suspected lover at the request of Daemon, whereas in the series Daemon gave him an out and he sailed off to the west. So clearly the show writers are willing to dance around the truth. So I'm really hoping we have some more surprises along the way. I would still like to see some other stuff, maybe a few red priests, or even something over the wall. Also, let's not forget at the end of Season 1, Daemon was aiming to get some of the wild dragons. Has this been left out of the first episode on purpose, or completely pushed aside? My final thoughts and slight prediction for next week. I assume we're going to see the mild-mannered King Aegon II become enraged. We already saw he has that Targaryen sadistic side when he almost forced Tywin Lannister to play horsey with his son. As said in the books, when a Targaryen is born, the gods flip a coin. One side is greatness, the other side is madness. So I wonder if we'll see some Mad King-like things happen in the next episode. Will Aegon finally let his brother have a battle? We keep hearing of Aemon's skills, but we've yet to see them on screen. Hopefully we have some fun in episode 2. Thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe as it helps us to grow. I know today has been a little bit different, so let us know if you like this different approach, as it allows us to cover other things in the same manner when a show's history or backstory is fully known. We much prefer to theorise, but I must say it's quite nice to have a bit of a moan. Thanks for watching, and as always, catch you next time with something new.